Hello and welcome to Commodity Champions, your weekly dose of what's brewing in this space. I'm Anisha Gupta and today we will discuss India's favorite beverage, tea. India's tea sector has been on a rolling boil with respect to prices and demand. However, production remains lukewarm. Lockdown and excess rains in West Bengal and Assam have pushed the production 18% lower for the first 8 months of the calendar year. Surging production caused high labor wages compound the issue. Remember, India is the second largest tea producer in the world and the fourth largest exporter. So will these woes continue to plague production? And how does this impact the sector as a whole? Joining me to discuss all of this and more are Prabir Bhattacharjee, Secretary General of the Tea Association of India, Azam Monem is Whole-Time Director at McLeod Russell, and Parag Desai is Executive Director of Wagh Bakri Tea Group. Gentlemen, hi, and thank you so much for joining us. And I want to start with prices first. And Mr. Bhattacharjee, why don't you take that? Because we've seen every auction in last few months actually register higher and higher prices. As I just said, it has been about the COVID lockdowns and then about excessive rains in the major growing areas, which led to supply declines and the prices really running higher. Where we see the prices right now, are they sustainable and how do you see the demand reacting to it?
Yeah, thank you and hi, good evening to you. Thanks for having me. Now, you remember that, last time when we came a couple of months back, those were the times when the prices were going high. And we maintained from the industry that this was a course correction, a much needed course correction. But of late, in the last couple of weeks, we are finding that the prices are dipping down. And the dipping down is pretty sharp, which gives a lot of cause of concern to the tea industry. Now, to be very specific and precise, if you look at the sale numbers from 45 onwards, the prices have been dipping. To the extent that the prices till date, sale number 45 onwards, the sale from 40 onwards, the prices have dipped by 40 to 50 rupees. Now, this is a huge decline. At this point of the time, generally a slight dip is noticed in other years, but this dip is a huge one. And I will just like to take you back to something which I have been telling in the last couple of times. I had the occasion to come to you. So you see, the tea industry has been a very stressed industry. For the last 1 decade, they have been in the doldrums, Now, if you see a price rise in the auction of a mere 3 to 4% of the compounded annual growth, and all the input prices going by 10% to 14%, you can very well understand the dilemma and the price problems, realization problems the industry has been facing. So when the price did rise in the beginning of the year, because of whatever factors, whether it was COVID, whether it was anything else, loss of production, so it was a course correction. But now the dip in the prices is becoming a real source of concern. And it can be inferred that if this continues, then again the tea industry can slip back to the days when it was in doldrums.
Mr. Monem, how would you react to that? I mean, the rising prices were good for the industry, especially at a time when the production also was seen on the lower side. How would you see this price decline? And also, is there a demand reaction to high rising prices? How do you see that?
Can you hear me?
I can. Yes.
I can. Yeah. So, Manisha, it's like this. I think, as Prabir rightly mentioned, there was a much needed shot in the arm. Perhaps COVID triggered it. And supply lines did dry up. So as we speak, we are sitting on a shortfall of 150 million crop, which is quite large and over 10% of the India's annual production. But, in North India in particular, which is more than 1,000 million, almost 800 million, 900 million, what happens is that you have a July, August, September, which is the peak months of production. And here, normally, the production is almost 60 to 65% of the annual production, and you tend to have an oversupply. So if I were to just look at the scenario, yes, there was a spurt in June, July, and that was a much needed shot in the arm for the industry. I think most of us benefited with our half-monthly reports and the quarter one and quarter two results. There is now a course correction because, as I said, there is a spot availability which is much more than what consumption is. So coupled with this, also, there have been certain triggers which have taken place, which have corrected the situation. Now, if you see, exports are a little down, no doubt, because the domestic prices did go up considerably. So exports are looking down. We also had a carryover of last year, which does come into play, which came into play. And of course, we had out of home consumption decline. So these three factors balanced somewhat the shortfall. Now, if we get into the winter months when production stops, then again we believe the shortfall will kick in, and people will have there will be a little more stability. But quite honestly, prices have moved much higher than expected, and over 30-40% of the rise. So that also impacts cash flows of buying companies and packers in particular, where they are stretched. So going forward, I think there's a course correction, and prices will stabilize around 20 to 30% by the fourth quarter, as we see, and that may just be a new threshold, because as I said, every 8 years you see a renewed price level, and I think we are really at the cusp of that.
Yeah, all right. So while, of course, there are various factors on why we have seen correction in prices, Parag, coming to you, how would you look at the whole immunity booster era that we've seen come in with tea? There have been various products, gaining advantage because of that, and tea definitely is one of those. How have you seen that demand pick up? Do you see in-house demand pick up because of that as well? And also, how do you see India on the global map because of this? Because while the exports may have declined, as Mr. Menon pointed out, but the demand for Indian herbal organic tea definitely seems stable.
Yes, Manisha. So you're right. There is a huge swing in demand for our Indian teas globally. But unfortunately, like my earlier speaker said, because of the COVID lockdown, there is a huge short supply of tea. And the quality tea season, by the way, it ends in September. So the prices over there have more than doubled. Plus, in our FMCG input costs, if you see, the expenses all around have increased tremendously because of COVID. However, the silver lining is that, we have now a huge customer base who is now searching for wellness products, like you said. And our own experience in green teas, herbal teas, is that sales is tripling this year. And I think it's in the right direction, because tea was always meant to be healthy and the cheapest drink in the world. And now, thanks to various Ayurveda prescriptions and various, even Government of India has now prescribed kava as one of the main drinks which you consume as a COVID medicine. So I think it is in a sweet spot. Only thing is that the prices, in my 30 years of experience in the tea industry, I haven't seen such a huge percentage rise in the price of tea. And that is where I think the concern is. Although we are thankful to our planter friends and friends in the northeast region and the southern region of India who are working overtime to make sure the shortage is not as large as it was supposed to be when the lockdown started.
Mr. Monam, according to you, what segments in the tea are doing better at this point in time? I mean, we've spoken about the production, demand concerns, the production cost for the, the sector also has been rising. But when it is about picking up in sense of the sector overall, what segments would you do are doing better than the other?
Is that for me?
Yes.
So I think you can very clearly see the quality segment, and much of the Assam CTC comes from that belt. So that segment seems to be doing very well. And if I were to look at the distribution and the sales, which my friend Parag will be able to tell, I think the price increase which has taken place and passed on has been well accepted. And there has been growth in the grocery sales as well as at-home consumption. So yes, I think people are enjoying a better cup of tea at home. They're looking for quality, and that is what we see is the biggest growth segment.
Parag, do you see the price sensitivity kick in as the prices have moved all over the place? Or do you think the specialty, the organics, the new flavored fruit flavors, I mean, there has been a very strong surge or advent, if I may say so, of newer teas, newer innovations, newer players also for that matter?
Yes, absolutely right, Manisha. There has been a huge disruption in supply chain. There has been a disruption also in our distribution breakups. For example, the general trade, the mom and pop stores, they have re-emerged as the preferred destination. Modern trade has taken a hit because of the increase in COVID cases in the cities and in the metros. And I think e-commerce has played a big role. Even if I look at my own experience, we have a huge range of organic teas, green teas, iced teas, and all these different range of teas are lapped up by the youngsters of India. So tea is back in fashion, like Mr. Monem said. Out-of-home consumption has definitely taken a huge hit, but in-home consumption is something that has gone up. And I only hope that this remains, this romance with tea of Indians, it remains for years to come.
Well, it is the favorite beverage, and we've understood the market on where it stands right now after the COVID impact. But with that, let's go for a short break. When we come back, we'll ask our experts on what is the road ahead that they see for the tea sector in a short break. Welcome back. You're watching Commodity Champions, and the focus today is on the tea sector, where we've seen the prices at all-time highs and then, of course, correct in last couple of months as well. Mr. Bhattacharjee, this question is to you. I mean, if I want to look at the numbers that the markets are working with, in 2018, the global tea market was valued at $52 billion. In 2026, the estimates are for $81 billion. Now, correct me if my numbers are okay here, that India contributes 30% of the global tea markets. How are we looking at the growth going forward, and especially India on the global map?
Yeah, thank you very much, Manisha. This is a very pertinent question so far as I am concerned, because basically I represent the producers' body, and the producers have a different perspective on this production side. Now, for example, if you take the country of India, we have been having the increase in the productions in the last couple of years. Now, the increase of the production is taking place, but the consumption is not keeping pace with it. So that's a cause of course, a concerned. But you see, one must understand one thing, the tea industry being a very labor-intensive industry and is a fixed cost industry. Now, why I keep on coming back to the cost of production? Because this has got a bearing on the profitability of the industry concerned. As my good friend, Azam will also bear me out, But see, today we are talking about, I was listening very intently to the rise in the prices. So it was described as historic rise and all that. But, there were historic lows for the industry also. So what I would like to put it over there, while the growth is going to take place, and growth should take place for any industry concerned, but the cause will be, how do we sustain ourselves in the longer term run? How do we invent ourselves, reinvent ourselves? That will be the challenge that the tea industry is going to face, more so in a country like India concerned, Another, just to cap it up, now see, when I tell that tea industry is a fixed cost industry, you see, today, look at the scenario now, This year, we are, looking at a loss of production of, say, 150 to 160 million kgs. Now, this loss of production by itself is going to add 25 to 30 rupees to my cost of production. Now, if suppose, theoretically speaking, hypothetically speaking, I get 25 to 30 rupees, it doesn't help me at the end of the day. Now, this is the aspect which I like to emphasize. And I'll urge upon the listeners and the viewers to look into this aspect concerned. This perhaps is not the case in very many industries. It is very unique to the industry. So yes, to answer your question, there is optimism and there should be optimism in industry. We look forward to a constant growth. But at the same time, the challenge would be for the tea industry, how we invent ourselves and how we sell ourselves, market ourselves.
Azam, why don't you take it on from there and tell us on what kind of a demand are we looking at? Because, we do understand even as tea is the favorite beverage of India, but our per capita consumption is still lower than China, Europe, and perhaps other few countries too.
Yeah, quite right, Manisha. I think Prabir has rightly emphasized cost competitiveness is really going to be a challenge, because not only do we need to compete with Africa, which is a low-cost base, but we also need to compete at home with our small growers, which are more than 50% now of the production of India. And they have a different model of employment and costs. So yes, if you were to ask me going forward, the main challenge is cost competitiveness and to maintain the quality, which is of a very good standard for the organized sector. But here again, I think looking at the overseas markets and the quality which India produces, I think we can continue to focus on promotion of tea overseas. And the export market is going to be crucial for the long-term sustainability of India and Indian tea, because we have certain varieties which are really premiumized overseas, but not really drunk much in India. So those focuses have to come in. And last but not the least, going forward, it has to be a domestic consumption rise. We do rise every year, but it's the numbers are not there. It's 5%, 3%. And we need to really focus on our domestic consumption, which is less than 1 kilo per person per capita. It's about 786 right now grams. And that is considered low, considering there are other parts of the world where you drink about a kilo. So these are the factors which will really come into play going forward for the sustainability of the tea industry in the long term.
Mr. Bhattacharjee, coming on the 6-digit codification, and that clearly has been a concern for a very long time. Is it still a threat? Do you still see it as a threat?
Oh, well, Manisha, this is an issue that right at this moment, I think I would not be able to give you my response, So do pardon me for that, please.
No worries. As you were discussing on various concerns here, this clearly keeps coming up a lot of times, especially for the Indian exporters as well. But we can all, of course, talk it at a different time there. Parag, coming to you, another point that the other panelists keep talking about is clearly about smaller players coming into the market, newer players, and we've seen specialty teas now come in at a premium price, etc. How much of that is a competition with the already existing brands right now?
See, Manisha, before I answer your question, I would like to touch on the earlier question on international, market of Indian teas. Now, I think the industry needs to do a lot of introspection, because not very long back, around 20 years back, India had a majority market share globally. And what made us lose that market share? I think the answer lies there. Today, we are uncompetitive with African teas, Sri Lankan teas, and even a small country like Vietnam, which had almost no production 15 years back, today is producing a lot of teas. So, there has to be introspection in the past for answers for the future. Coming back to your question, to more players, I think more the merrier. For India, tea is a religion. And I believe that only when people try different teas, they will come to know as to what is it that they like. Like, we have started our tea lounges, and in our tea lounges, we meet people who said, oh, I have been drinking this tea ever since I was a kid, but now I think that I will switch to this tea because no one introduced me to this kind of teas. So as Azam said, India produces good quality, niche, gourmet teas, specialty teas in the orthodox range. And I think the time has come we introduce our own Indians to various kinds of teas through high-end cafes, etc. And that is where I think the consumption and the value addition story will emerge.
That, I believe, Parag, has already happened. As you said, you've started that, and we see a lot of smaller chains as well try and do that. So I have a last couple of minutes on the show. One thing that I would want to come to each one of you is that the sector has done well today, not in the best of circumstances though, but what is your sense on what opportunity do you see going forward? And Parag, let's begin with you.
I see the opportunity is to convert tea from commodity to a brand, to something that someone appreciates, make Indian consumers connoisseurs. I think that is where the big opportunity is.
Sure. Azam, tea is something that is, it has a way with a state or a city or villages or every place. I mean, this is one thing that is consumed by all strata of people. Where do you see an opportunity now coming in? Actually,
I really look at the tea industry as being one of the most modern industries, although it's over 150 years old. All the traits that you require in a good modern business is already covered by the tea industry.
I mean, we've discussed about all the concerns and opportunities, and this year as well. So going forward, road ahead, how do you see it for the tea industry?
Actually, I'll tell you that this has taught us a huge lesson to the tea industry concerned. Let's see, they have witnessed the prices that they have seen this year in the first part of the year concerned. Now, see, the aspiration level, has risen in the tea industry, and the tea industry, will be looking forward to opportunities and scopes how to sustain with these price levels. Because one thing that they've understood, unless the prices are fetched from the market, they won't be able to compete, not only domestically, I'm talking about in the international. And yes, I agree fully with it. This is a subject which we have been dealing with in the tea industry, is the consumption within the country. It's an abysmally low level of 786 grams per capita, I mean, this in a country of 1.3, 1.4 billion people, we have to give a spurt to that. And how do we do that? That will be the biggest challenge. And I think that's the lesson we need to learn and go forward with that single-minded, devotion to that, obtaining that objective.
So looking forward that those changes are seen in the tea industry. But thank you, gentlemen, so much for joining us today and explaining that whole sector to us. Mr. Bhattacharjee, Azam and Parag, thank you so much for taking time out. Well, it has been a good year as far as the prices are concerned, but the demand is still not picking up. While we did see new variants in case of tea sector here, but then again, the per capita consumption of tea, exports of tea are still a bit of a challenge for the tea industry there. But with that, it's a wrap up on this edition of Commodity Champions. Thank you for watching.